In this video, we're going to discuss how long should your product launch be? How many days? Let's get into it. There's a couple theories out there, and I'd like to dive into a couple of my theories that I believe. How long should you launch your product for? Now, what most people do is they will launch in one day, and that's it. They will say, the product is ready, here you go. And they'll publish that day, and whatever traffic that they normally get on their social media, they will get. And that'll be that. That'll be the end of it. And it could have been so much better had they just done a little bit of warm-up, had they done just a little bit of prep work, instead of just sitting on day one, they hit publish, and things ready to go. This is our 4-part formula to launching here at Nice Slice Studio. We start with positioning your startup, figuring out what features are we going to roll out with, why these specific features are most important. Then we can go into the pre-launch phase. We build hype. We get people warmed up. We launch the product by posting the keynote, getting everyone on the list, knowing about the product launch. And then the post-launch, that's wrapping up the launch. And post-launch doesn't mean the launch is over. The launch is still going on, but the post-launch meaning after the launch day. Post-launch is just wrapping up everything. Getting those stubborn last-minute customers, getting them over the hill, answering those last few questions to get as many sales as possible, because you're going to see the biggest spike in your startup's life on launch day, and then you will see your bigger sales day on the day that you close your launch. So it's important to close the launch. I think it's very important too, as part of the launch, not to just start a launch, but to end a launch. Now, how many days? I've got a little calendar here. We're going to answer the question in this video. What happens when you launch for too long, when you leave kind of the window open and the launch window just lingering around? What happens when it's too short? Maybe you do 4 days or 5 days or 6 days, or like I just said, 1 day. And then why 10 days, Jordan? Why do you guys always recommend launching for 10 days? So let's get into it. And let's start with a launch that is, let's start with a launch that's too long. Now, a launch that I say is too long is anything over 10 days, I mean, obviously, but anything over 10 days. Some launches are 14 days. Some launches are 30 days. I mean, if you remember Kickstarter way back in the day, Kickstarter was 30 days of launching. And it was too much time. It's too much time to, not only do you have to create a lot of content and keep a lot of people's attention, but you have to keep their attention for that long. And when you're in a direct response, when you're kind of adding this pressure, when you're trying to get people to convert and turn into customers, like, I don't need you to convert into a customer in a few months or a year from now. I need you to turn into a customer this week. So you have to add some kind of pressure. You have to add some kind of urgency, scarcity to your launch. So having the 14 days is a little too long. Now, 14 days, you could be, let's think about sticky notes out. So with 14 days, it's just a lot of content. Let's get it actually a normal color. So it might be like a pre-launch email here, it could be, or day 2, you do a pre-launch video, maybe do another pre-launch video, a video following that, another pre-launch email. In this video here, maybe it's like it's a hype video. You're doing more pre-launch emails and you're telling people like, hey, announcement date, hey, we are launching in a few days. Maybe you put that announcement somewhere back here. So it's up to you. And let's say your official launch day, if it's 14 days long, you are going to launch like right in the middle. So like you launch on a Monday and 7 days from later, you announce the day, and then 7 days later, you close the whole thing down. But it makes sense because, hey, it's nice, it's 2 weeks, it's very clean. We start on a Monday, we announce on a Monday, we launch on a Monday. So let's say this is your launch day. It's day 7, and then day 14, you are going to, so by the time announcement, the launch day here, you have all this time to fill, and you are giving all of this opportunity to your customers to waste time and procrastinate and think of other reasons why they shouldn't do this. And it's going to hurt your conversions. And if you are new to this, if you are new to launching, this is a lot of content and a lot of stuff to keep cranking out, keeping your audience engaged, keeping their attention eye on the ball. Because in some of these launches, we are sending 3 to 4 emails per day. And if you were doing a 14-day launch, you are looking at, what is that, 14? That's 60, 70, 80 emails you can easily get away with. And that is a lot of emails to write, even if they're only 100 words, 200 words a piece. You're repeating yourself a lot of times, which is normal and fine, but it is a long, long time to just keep hammering away at everything. Launch email. We spell it correct. Launch email, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're just sending so much, reminding people. This is where it feels like you're twisting people's arm. This is where it gets salesy because you're just from here to here. So let's color code these. You're just having to keep a lot of people's attention. Now, but people learn about your offer. You fully expand about your offer. I mean, that's the great part about a long launch is you can really get into it. Now let's talk about a launch that is too short. So let's go down here. So this is the 14-day launch. Let's say we're doing a 5-day launch. So the 5-day launch. So launch day is meaning let's take these two and copy them. So close the cart. So a 5-day launch, you're not going to launch on day 5. You're going to close the cart. You're going to close the launch on day 5. So that means you have to launch on day 3, day 4, maybe day 2, or like day 2 in the afternoon, day 3 in the morning. So this doesn't give you a lot of time to build up hype. So you might have, yes, you're going to have your pre-launch email. You're going to have your pre-launch video. You're going to have your announcement video. You're going to have another pre-launch video. You're going to have another pre-launch email, all just announcing, hey, this is coming up. Launch day is on day 3. You start sending out all this information on a Monday, and on Wednesday you open the cart, and then on Friday you close the cart. That seems like a very clean, natural thing. Hey, it's going to be 1 week, it's tight, weekdays only, no weekend stuff. It could be something like that. Or maybe you start on a Thursday, so it'd be Thursday, Friday, Saturday is launch day, and then Sunday, and then Monday is like the last day. That could work too, where you're like, hey, Sunday night, make sure you get everything in, like Sunday at midnight. We've done launches like that before. We're like ending on a Sunday, ending Sunday night, and the cart ends on Monday. That's very beneficial. But it's just not enough time to get the message out there. It's not enough time. It's just between launch day, people need to learn about the offer. They need to realize that this is a problem that they need solved today. And then, how many videos can I watch? If I gotta watch your 20-minute keynote, and I gotta watch your 10-minute demo video, and your hype video, and your pre-launch video, we're talking about, could be 100, 200 minutes of content in a 2 to 3 day period. And a lot of your customers just don't have that kind of time. They don't have that kind of time to do that amount of research. If this is something that they have never heard of, they don't know about this. And in most cases, for you watching this, you're about to launch a product that people have never heard of, or this is the first time you're rolling something out. So people need a little bit more education. So now let's go and map out a 10-day location. I said 5-day. So a 10-day launch. So we've got our launch day is going to be on day 6 or 7 or 5. And then we are going to close the cart on day 10. Now you're starting to see this is like Goldilocks. It's a nice even split here. So let me drag some sticky notes here. Let's color code these so that they are green for good. Just so that a little bit of visual difference for you guys. So on day 1 of your 10-day launch, you can release your pre-launch video, and you can do a pre-launch video the following day. You can do a pre-launch email. And if this is a 10-minute video, they have time to watch it that day. And then a pre-launch email will remind them to go watch that pre-launch video. And you say, hey, tomorrow we have another pre-launch video. Or you space it out and you do this, or you do an email the same day. Oftentimes we've done, hey, you could say like the survey result. Hey, we're thinking about doing a big new update to our product.com. And we want to get your feedback as a customer. What do you think about this? What kind of features would you like to see in the new update? And you get a survey from people, get them engaged in this little story that you're about to sow for them. You could drop the hype video, and that could also be the announcement where you say, hey, we are launching on day 6. So check it out. Stick around. And then comes around day 6, you've had enough time for people to watch your pre-launch video, your pre-launch video number 2, your hype video. People are starting to understand, and they're starting to do it. It's been very mysterious. I don't know what you're going to sell on day 6, but I'm very curious, and I want to know what this is all about. Then launch day happens. And then from launch day, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 days, basically, to keep the pressure keep people engaged, and you're not having to spend another entire week dragging people along, getting those customers, and it adds a little bit of pressure. If I know that today's day 6, maybe that's a Friday or a Thursday, and I know that this thing closes on Sunday at midnight or Monday at midnight, that is not a lot of time mentally. It feels, hey, at the end of the week, this just started. I've basically got the weekend to think things over, and Monday I have to make a decision. As a customer, they're going to make a decision. So they're going to start. And this is why we like 10 days, because it's just enough time to understand the offer fully and then start to add pressure enough to where in these 4 days, you are not killing yourself as a founder. You have enough time to there's enough natural pressure from this. And each of these 3 days, this gives you enough time to add your demo video. You can do a replay of your keynote video on the next day. You could send 4 emails a day for this one. It's very simple, and oftentimes it's repeated. And then when you're in the DM side and you're answering emails and answering support questions, answering chat questions, you're able to knock out those sales very quickly because, hey, sales tomorrow, it's very natural. Hey, 48 hours to go, 24 hours to go. Sign up here. Do you have any last questions? What questions do you have? To answer all your questions, great. Here's the link. Go buy now. That is the beauty of a 10-day launch. Now, it's really up to you. You can do 14 days, you can do 5 days, you can do 10 days, it could be 9 days, 8 days, 11 days, whatever feels natural for you. But my recommendation for this stuff is when you're doing this stuff, when you're positioning your startup, that happens before you ever launch, or that leads up to launch. Pre-launch is those day before. This is all what I would consider pin out, pin key, pin. So prior to the launch date, this is your pre-launch error, this is your pre-launch here. And for this, your pre-launch is right there. That's your pre-launch. Then launch date, launch is launch itself. And then post-launch is the days after closing the cart. So from here, post-launch, you will have your biggest sales day ever. A lot of people think that it is going to be on launch day. And at the time, it will be. And that's when most people give up. But if you keep going and you keep adding pressure, all the people that have procrastinated, which is the majority of your customers, will close on that last day or the last few days. So do not overlook the post-launch. So with the 5-day, there's not a lot of time to add that pressure and get those people over the hill. With a 14-day launch, it's just too long. If you're just a one-man team, if you have a very small team, it can get very exhausting. A 14-day launch can happen with a big team, a lot of content, a lot of people writing emails, sending stuff out, big audience, a lot of people to educate. That's why I recommend the 10-day where you have 3 solid days to just talk about the offer, remind people what they're getting, start to slowly remove bonuses, add urgency, add scarcity. Hey, there's only 200 seats left. You get this coupon's going away, and then close the cart. And we all do this in the 500K SaaS launch kit. So I'll give you this is from the Launch Command Center that we sell in the 500K SaaS launch kit. For day 1, we lay out what emails you need to have, the website, the videos, the checkout that you need to have activated. For this one, we recommend day 7 being your launch day. This gives you basically an entire week to hype things up. I think the hype up is more important than the close, but the close is going to bring in more revenue. But it's what you build in the pre-launch that sets the tone for the post-launch, obviously. The waitlist, the thank you pages that you need to have built, the emails that you're sending out. You're sending out 1 email a day, 1 video a day, basically just slowly ramping things up until you've hit this peak of day 7 where everything is all systems go. And then day 8, 9, and 10 are you're mostly just sending emails, maybe dropping a video or 2 and closing the cart and just bringing people home. That's what you're doing. So I hope this was helpful. If you are considering launching your product, hope this answers your question of how long should my launch be? Too long, too short? My recommendation is 10 days. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Jordan P. Anderson from Nice Slice Studio, and we'll see you on the next one.